It's official, MG has gone absolutely bonkers. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is an MG. From the brand of tiny hatchbacks, electric crossovers and budget-friendly SUVs, they've given us the Cyberster, an electric Porsche Boxster for half the price. But is it really a true sports car or just an MG for X-Power and a fancy body? Well, today we're gonna find out. Well, at face value, it certainly looks like a sports car. Two scissor doors like a Lamborghini, crisp LED headlights, vents in the bumper to pass air over the side skirts for more downforce, massive 20-inch wheels, and red Brembo brakes. But then we come to the back and, oh dear, what's happened? A monobrow brake light, arrows for indicators, and a missing spoiler? Most car designs, I either like the whole design or I don't like the whole design. This is one of the first cars I've reviewed where I love the front and absolutely despise the back. But the good news is you don't have to look at the back from inside. I love the cockpit sensation here in the interior, with a distinct driver and passenger compartment. The sports seats look great too, and I like that they haven't made them too aggressively bolstered because, let's be honest, I don't think many owners are going to be tracking their Cyberster, but owners will appreciate that these seats are not only comfortable and very well made with Alcantara and leather inserts, but they're also heated and adjust electronically with switches on the door. The steering wheel looks great with a pedal to adjust the regenerative braking system on one side, and on the other side there's a pedal to change the drive mode along with a button to engage Super Sport mode. It also has a very interesting infotainment design with your gauges in the middle and two small touchscreens on either side. The screen on the left does your music, navigation and Apple CarPlay, and the screen on the right shows your trip data, charging information, reversing camera and 360-degree camera. While there are some weird software things going on, like to pair a phone, you have to go onto the screen on the left, but then to actually select a phone, it bumps it over onto the screen on the right for whatever reason, and they've misspelled recuperation there in the dash. Overall, the graphics are nice, and I found the two screens up here relatively easy to use. The biggest problem though is this climate control screen here in the middle. With the top down, it gets washed out by the sun shining on it. The view is also completely blocked for the passenger by the grab handle, and the buttons for the heated seats and steering wheel are just way too small for my fat fingers. Fortunately, there are some shortcut buttons up here. Plus, despite its small interior size, they've given you plenty of places to store things in here. There's two big cup holders that hide away when not in use, a massive bin here under the armrest with a USB and USB-C charging port, a slot to put your phone in, which is very good thinking, a reasonable sized glove box, and a couple of very tiny pockets in the doors. The boot, fortunately, is a good size, right around 250 litres, and of course, because there is no engine under here, you get a frunk as well. No you don't. Oh, come on man. Porsche Boxster has to carry a flat six in the back, and even that managed to have a boot and a frunk. The other issue with this car is that because all of the batteries are underneath the floor, you actually sit quite high. So if you're over 6 foot like me, you end up brushing your hair on the roof all the time, and with the roof down, you're basically steering straight at the windscreen frame. So this is definitely more of a car for short kings or queens. At least the roof only takes 10 seconds to go up and down, and you can put it up while you're moving less than 50 k's an hour, just in case it starts raining while you're moving. So with all of that boring practical stuff out of the way, it's time to find out if the MG Cyberster is fast. And well, it certainly seems like it should be. There's two different models available. For 110 grand, you can get the 250 kilowatt rear wheel drive model, or for just $20,000 more, you can have this all-wheel drive model, which keeps the same 250 kilowatt motor in the back, but adds a 150 kilowatt motor in the front for a combined power output of 375 kilowatt or 510 horsepower and 725 newton meters of torque. So yeah, it's fast. Oh, 0 to 100 k's an hour takes just 3.2 seconds and it'll go on to a top speed of 210 kilometers per hour. They are definitely sports car figures. The electric motors are paired with a 77 kilowatt hour battery pack, which gives a claimed range of 440 kilometers, although in typical EV fashion, that is a significant overestimation. In my experience, if you plan on putting your foot down, which of course, why would you not when you have 375 kilowatt at your disposal, and if you want the heated seats on with the roof down and the air conditioning on, 300 k's is a far more realistic range figure. So while it unfortunately can't go particularly far on a charge, it does offer neck-snapping performance in a straight line, and it goes around corners all right too. While it's far from a featherweight at just a hair under 2 tons, because all of the weight is extremely low down and it has 245 front and 275 wide rear Pirelli P0 tyres on it, the grip is astonishing, and certainly on corner exit, thanks to all of that power, this thing is a very swift car to drive down a back road like this. As you go up into the more sporty drive modes, the steering feel improves and has a nice amount of weight to it, and there is a familiar sense of engine braking when you let off the throttle in the maximum recuperation mode, just like what you'd expect from a normal petrol-powered car. Honestly, down a road like this, with the top down and 375 kilowatts of breathtaking performance, remarkable handling, decent steering feel, good brakes, and of course, sensational throttle response, this is actually a pretty solid sports car to drive down a road like this. I really like it. That said, you can definitely tell that this is pitched as more of a GT car than a true lightweight backroad barnstorming sports car. The suspension is quite soft, which means it's actually a very comfortable car to travel in, but as a result it does struggle a little bit to keep the very, very heavy body in check, and there's a lot of squatting under acceleration, diving under braking, and body roll through corners. Which leads me on to my biggest issue with this car, and that is that when you put your foot down, all the acceleration just goes to waste because there is no sound. It looks like a sports car and certainly goes like a sports car when you put your foot down, and arguably handles like a pretty decent sports car as well through a hairpin bend like that, but put your foot down on corner exit and without the sound, the vibrations, the gear changes to execute on these pedals, it just feels like it's missing something. EVs make some sense as daily drivers because they are cheap to run, practical and spacious inside, and very quiet. But this has got no back seats, making it no good as a family runabout. It's not much good as a GT car either, because while it is very comfortable on longer drives, it can only do 300 k's on a charge, so you ain't going to be travelling the country in it. And while it offers sports car performance in a straight line, and it's certainly pretty decent in the corners, without the sound and with a 2-ton curb weight, it's just not as fun to drive as a Porsche Boxster, a Toyota Supra, or a 400Z that can be had for basically the same price. So unfortunately, it's just a bit too compromised to be particularly outstanding in every area aside from the straight line performance. That said though, as far as EVs go, this is definitely one of the most fun ones I've driven. It's been awesome taking all of my friends out for a drive in it and scaring them with the immense acceleration, leaving their stomach in the middle of last week. The top-down experience is delightful, and the doors make you feel like a baller every time you get out. It's a surprisingly brilliant car, just probably for a fairly niche buying audience. But what do you think about the new MG Cyberster? Let us know down in the comments, and make sure to check out some of our other written and video reviews on drivelife.co.nz, and we'll look forward to seeing you again in the next review.